TV's golden years were marked by unforgettable faces lighting up our living rooms. But sometimes, those stars suddenly disappeared, leaving fans confused and hungry for answers. Here's a countdown exploring 15 top TV actors whose exits changed their shows forever. Number 1, Charlie Sheen from 2.5 Men. Let's go back to 2011, when Monday nights felt a little unhinged thanks to Charlie Sheen's antics on and off the set of 2.5 Men. For 8 seasons, Sheen's wild-eyed, tequila-sipping Charlie Harper was the heartbeat of the show. Quick with a quip, always ready for trouble, and rooted deep in the laughs that made CBS's sitcom a household staple. But what unfolded behind the scenes was wilder than any plot twist Chuck Lorre could script. As headlines swirled with Sheen's explosive interviews and falling out with Lorre, a fiery crossroads arrived. Suddenly, Charlie Harper wasn't just written off. He was sent packing with a grand, morbid gag in the season 9 opener. Fans gawked as the series jumped from Sheen's smirking charm to Ashton Kutcher's quirky billionaire Walden Schmidt. The humor tilted, the chemistry shifted, and within weeks, the show's entire DNA felt different. Some loyal viewers hung on, curious for the next chapter. Others mourned the wild magic that only Sheen's Charlie brought, his exit echoing as TV's most jaw-dropping actor departure in years. As the new episodes rolled on, you could almost hear the faint clink of an empty tumbler lingering in the Malibu beach house and wonder how a sitcom could change so much, so fast. Number 2, Valerie Harper from Valerie. The sound of the TV theme song still lingers, but the heart of the show was suddenly gone. Valerie Harper's turn as Valerie Hogan in the NBC sitcom Valerie Made Moms on the Block feels seen. She was sharp, warm, and unapologetically real, a sitcom matriarch holding her family together while juggling work and mischief from her 3 sons, played by Jason Bateman, Danny Ponce, and Jeremy Licht. Valerie Harper, already beloved since the 70s from Rhoda, brought instant credibility when the series launched in 1986. Yet, after just 2 seasons, viewers were stunned. In the fall of 1987, the 3rd season premiere did not bring a reassuring laugh, but a sudden somber announcement. Valerie Hogan had died in a car crash off-screen. Behind the scenes, contract negotiations unraveled between Harper and show producers, leading NBC to make the bold and rare move of abruptly writing out its star. In just 1 week, Valerie became the Hogan family. Sandy Duncan moved in as the boy's aunt, trying to steady a show rocked to its core. Fans adjusted, and the series managed several more seasons. But the familiar glow of Valerie's kitchen never quite felt the same. The rapid rebrand was a lesson in showbiz realities and network power plays. Yet, the shock also cemented the show's place in TV lore, reminding us just how much a single character could mean. Number 3, Michael J. Fox from Spin City. The sound of bustling New York traffic always underscored the manic energy of Spin City, where Michael J. Fox starred as Deputy Mayor Mike Flaherty. Fox was the show's magnetic center, blending wit, empathy, and just the right amount of exasperation as he wrangled the political chaos around City Hall. By the time season 4 rolled around in 2000, fans had become attached to Mike's fast-talking, problem-solving, and heart. But the real story unfolded off-screen. Fox was quietly battling Parkinson's disease, a diagnosis he had revealed to the public in 1998. The bittersweet episode that wrote Mike out, his emotional farewell on the steps of City Hall, became a tribute not only to the character, but to Fox's enduring spirit. His exit was both artful and raw, the moment forever linked to his honest, public fight for his health. Fox's departure left a void the remaining cast struggled to fill, even when Charlie Sheen stepped in as Charlie Crawford the following season. Audiences felt the difference. Ratings never quite reached the charismatic heights of the Fox era. Spin City soldiered on, but fans still remember the spark Michael J. Fox brought to those early years. As the credits rolled on his send-off, viewers couldn't help but root for both Mike and Michael, wherever their next chapters led. Number 4, Mandy Patinkin from Criminal Minds. A cup of coffee goes cold at the BAU headquarters when Jason Gideon, played by Mandy Patinkin, walked away from Criminal Minds in 2007. Fans felt the shockwaves through every lingering camera shot and whispered case summary. Gideon was more than the team's original leader. He was the show's moral barometer, a seasoned profiler whose intuition and empathy grounded the darkest plots. Yet by the start of season 3, all viewers got was a brief, bittersweet road trip letter and a sense of loss impossible to shake. Patinkin departed abruptly after season 2, citing the show's relentlessly grim subject matter and its psychological toll. It wasn't just another actor swap. Showrunner Ed Bernero had to rewrite the show's DNA, steering the team toward tough new leadership and rebalancing the chemistry with high-stakes replacements. Gideon's empty office lingered as an unspoken symbol of the cost of tackling evil every week. Patinkin's exit ripped open creative possibilities, but also left behind a gap fans today still discuss. That first cup of coffee never tasted quite the same, and every new agent brought echoes of the quiet, haunted profiler whose gentleness set the early standard for the team. The case files moved on, but Gideon's shadow remained. Number 5. Shannon Doherty from Beverly Hills, 90210. To millions of teens in the early 90s, Brenda Walsh was the magnetic heart of Beverly Hills, 90210. Portrayed by Shannon Doherty, Brenda bickered, rebelled, and grew up alongside TV's most iconic zip code. But after season 4 aired in 1994, Brenda was suddenly gone, leaving viewers scrambling for answers. The drama behind the scenes rivaled anything the characters faced at West Beverly High. Shannon Doherty's reputation for being tough to work with and ongoing conflicts with co-stars often spilled into the tabloids, fueling wild rumors and feeding the public's fascination. Creator Aaron Spelling tried to squash the drama, but the chemistry on set had already shifted. When Brenda left for London in the final episodes of season 4, only Kelly and Donna remained to anchor the show's original friend group. The energy changed. The show pivoted to highlight Jenny Garth and Tori Spelling, while fans debated whether Brenda's spark could ever be replaced. Still, Doherty's final moments linger. Her signature glare, the way she could crush a hopeful moment with a cutting line, and that bittersweet feeling as a key character exited Beverly Hills for good. It's a textbook case of how real-life backstage drama can shape the fate of a show and its legacy. No matter how the storylines twisted, fans always remembered the girl who brought both grit and vulnerability to prime time. Let's pause for a second. Did Brenda's exit change how you felt about 90210? Who did you tune in for? Brenda, Kelly, or another favorite? Share your best memories or drama-filled theories in the comments. Number 6. Patrick Duffy from Dallas. The sound of a shower echoed across America one spring night in 1986, signaling the most jaw-dropping twist in Dallas history and one of television's wildest about-faces. Patrick Duffy had played Bobby Ewing since Dallas premiered on CBS in 1978, becoming the likable, moral center in a family full of drama. Yet, by the end of season 8 in 1985, headlines broke. Duffy was leaving the show. Creative fatigue, stalled contract talks, and a lingering urge to explore new horizons pulled him away, leaving fans stunned. The writers answered with a tragic exit. Bobby was killed in a car accident, a moment so shocking that it cast a long shadow over every episode that followed. But Dallas without Duffy just wasn't the same. The next season's ratings drooped, storylines felt off balance, and viewers missed the heart of South Fork Ranch. Then came the legendary shower scene in May 1986. Pam Ewing flung open her bathroom door to find Bobby alive. His death had been nothing more than a year-long dream sequence. The controversial reset thrilled some and infuriated others, but undeniably, it pulled Dallas back into the cultural spotlight and cemented Duffy's return as one of the most memorable comebacks in television history. Today, that steamy reveal still lingers in pop culture, a reminder of TV's power to rewrite its own rules as long as the water's hot. Number 7. Bob Saget from Full House. The living room always felt just a little emptier without Bob Saget's Danny Tanner tidying up after his daughters on Fuller House. Every punchline, every cheesy group hug, every lesson wrapped in heart. Saget delivered them like only a true TV dad could. When Netflix revived Full House in 2016, fans cheered seeing most of the original cast return, with Bob Saget still holding court at family dinners. But by season 5 in 2019, Danny Tanner no longer made regular appearances. Audiences sensed the end of an era. It was as if the house had lost its anchor, the gentle hand who'd shepherded Michelle, Stephanie, and DJ through laugh track-filled chaos. Although Bob Saget didn't exit the show mid-series, his gradual absence and his real-life passing in January 2022 hit longtime fans with a wave of nostalgia and sadness. His absence in the finale marked not just a storyline shift, but a generational goodbye. Every detergent commercial, upright vacuum, or corny dad joke on television now carried a little echo of Danny Tanner's wholesome presence. The show's last chapter gently closed the door on a wholesome sitcom era where dads wore pastel sweaters and offered tissues for every heartbreak. But Saget's legacy stretches far beyond those four walls. With every rerun and every heartfelt tribute, the magic of TV's neat freak dad lingers for anyone who ever called 1882 Gerrard Street home in their imagination. Number 8. Christopher Meloni from Law & Order, SVU. A New York precinct just wasn't the same after Detective Elliot Stabler turned in his badge at the end of season 12. For over a decade, Christopher Meloni brought a gruff warmth and relentless intensity to Law & Order, SVU, forming television's most compelling crime-fighting duo alongside Mariska Hargitay's Olivia Benson. When a particularly harrowing case pushed his character to the edge in 2011, Stabler walked away from the department and from our screens without a goodbye. But the real drama played out behind the scenes. A contract dispute prompted Meloni's abrupt exit, leaving the show and its millions of fans reeling. For nearly a decade, Detective Stabler's absence loomed large. Viewers wondered if the golden standard of television partnerships could ever be rebuilt. Meloni and Hargitay created a dynamic that set the tone for procedural dramas, making SVU's blend of grit and empathy must-see television for years on NBC. The void Stabler left reshaped not only the series, but also how viewers felt about closure and change. Yet, for those who watched every episode, his sudden departure always felt raw, unfinished. Today, fans still recall Meloni's steely gaze and the electricity he brought to every interrogation room. Even after years, the echo of heavy boots on the SVU squad room floor conjures nostalgia and curiosity. What could have happened if Detective Stabler had stayed? Number 9. McLean Stevenson from MI/H. The warm voice of McLean Stevenson always made the chaos of war on MI/H bearable. But in 1975, viewers tuned in to find out that Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake would never be coming home. After 3 seasons as the affable, often befuddled commander of the 47th, Stevenson asked out of his contract, hungry to break out of his lovable mold and try new creative avenues. Producers mirrored the seriousness of real-world conflict with a bold move. Instead of transferring his character, they shocked the world by killing him off. The scene, Blake's helicopter shot down over the ocean, was a gut punch, delivered with no warning in the last minutes of the season 3 finale. It was a watershed moment. TV deaths had happened before, but not like this. Not a beloved main character gone so suddenly and senselessly. The outcry was immediate. Fans wrote letters, magazines buzzed, and the water cooler question was, why take away someone so central, someone who made the war just a little less grim? But in doing so, MI/H opened the door for TV to embrace darker, deeper storytelling. No one was ever truly safe again, and the stakes on primetime would never be the same. Sometimes, those goodbyes on TV hurt eerily, like the ones in life. Number 10. John Ritter from 8 Simple Rules. Few moments on television hit harder than the shocking loss of John Ritter, who played Paul Hennessy on 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter. Ritter's comedic charm and warm, bumbling dad energy had anchored the show since its debut on ABC in 2002. He wasn't just the star. He was the show's heart, the flustered yet fiercely loving anchor for his rebellious kids, played by Kaylee Cuoco and Amy Davidson. But in September 2003, tragedy struck. Ritter suddenly passed away from an aortic dissection, sending shockwaves far beyond the set. The show's creators and cast, still reeling themselves, made a brave decision. Instead of quietly writing off Paul Hennessy, Season 2 honored John by letting his character's death echo his real-world fate. On screen, the grief was raw, not just performance. The tribute episode, Goodbye, which aired in November 2003, became a communal moment for millions of viewers mourning both actor and character. Though the series tried to continue, the comedic rhythm was forever changed. James Garner and David Spade joined the cast, but the dynamic felt quieter, tinged with a bittersweet sense of moving on. For families who watched together, Paul Hennessy was both laughter and life lessons. With his passing, 8 simple rules showed audiences how sitcoms could honor real grief, and how TV families sometimes look a lot like our own, carrying the echoes of laughter and loss. Number 11, Chevy Chase from Saturday Night Live. The clatter of a Saturday night in 1975 meant sketch comedy, zippy one-liners, and the smirking confidence of Chevy Chase reporting, "Good evening, I'm Chevy Chase and you're not." Chase wasn't just SNL's first true breakout star, he was the show's comedic anchor, redefining late-night television with the dry absurdity of Weekend Update and physical comedy that left audiences in stitches. Only one season in, viewers had made him a household name. But when Chase stunned America by announcing his departure in 1976, Saturday Night Live scrambled to recover. His sudden exit, powered by Hollywood ambitions and a growing movie career, became one of TV's earliest shockwaves. Audiences missed his mischievous charm, and producers faced a tall order. How do you replace the comic center of your show? SNL's answer was a rotating cast of new anchors, Jane Curtin, Bill Murray, and others, each adding something new, but never quite matching that original irreverent magic. Chevy's impact echoed beyond Rockefeller Center. His movies like Caddyshack and National Lampoon's Vacation cemented him as a 70s and 80s icon, but his TV leaving became legend. The studio lights stayed bright, but the energy changed. SNL proved it could evolve, yet some fans still hear Chase's voice when the Weekend Update desk appears. A nostalgic reminder of a time when everything on TV felt fast, live, and brand new. Number 12, Shelley Long from Cheers. The gleam of Boston's most famous bar wouldn't have been the same without Diane Chambers, portrayed with witty precision by Shelley Long. For 5 seasons, from 1982 to 1987, Long's Diane bantered and clashed with Sam Malone, creating the irresistible romantic tension that turned Cheers into must-watch television on NBC. But beneath the sitcom's laughter and clinking glasses, Long felt a pull that was harder to shake than a love-struck ex. She feared being boxed in by the very role that made her a star. Looking for greater creative freedom, she chose to leave after season 5, departing the bar and Sam for a new life in Paris, and for Long, a return to film and dramatic projects outside the sitcom spotlight. Diane's absence transformed Cheers. Her exit prompted the writers to shift gears, making room for Kirstie Alley's Rebecca Howe, who brought fresh energy and a new set of conflicts. Cheers didn't just survive this change, it reinvented itself, running 6 more seasons and winning critical acclaim, including Emmys for both earlier and later iterations. But if you close your eyes, you can still hear Diane's fast talk and Sam's exasperated sigh echoing across the clatter of glasses and the laughter of old friends. Number 13, David Caruso from NYPD Blue. The city's blue glow felt different the moment Detective John Kelly faded from view. David Caruso's fast rise as NYPD Blue's soulful, red-haired leading man anchored the series through its breakout 1993 premiere. With his intense stare and clipped delivery, Caruso set the tone for this raw ABC police drama, offering up a cop who was vulnerable, bruised, and brilliant. Audiences rallied behind him, tuning in every week to see where Kelly's moral compass would point inside New York's shadowy labyrinth. Yet behind the scenes, storm clouds gathered. Caruso, sensing his newfound celebrity, demanded a major pay hike and set his sights on Hollywood. When producers pushed back, the showdown hit headlines, making Caruso's Season 2 exit in 1994 a landmark television moment. For those watching, Kelly's abrupt disappearance stung. Suddenly, the show raced to rebalance, ushering in Jimmy Smits as Detective Bobby Simone, hoping lightning would strike twice. But Caruso's leap into film never soared quite as planned, and his fabled NYPD Blue exit became the cautionary tale whispered on studio lots for years to come. There was something electric about those early episodes: gritty streets, sharp banter, and Kelly's reluctant, wounded heroism, an energy that was never quite recaptured. As the squad room fell silent, you got the sense that TV was shifting, and the true impact of one risk could echo across an entire era. Number 15, Steve Carell from The Office. You could almost feel the air go out of the room as Michael Scott packed up his mug and bid farewell to Dunder Mifflin. Steve Carell's exit after season 7 of The Office in 2011 was more than a plot twist. It was the emotional earthquake that changed the rhythm of Thursday nights for millions. For 7 seasons, Carell's bumbling, endlessly hopeful, and awkwardly lovable branch manager anchored the Scranton crew, his antics and heartwarming speeches giving the mockumentary its soul. When Carell's contract expired, rumors swirled. Was it a creative decision or just the right time to move on? The truth is grounded in both. Carell wanted new challenges, and an expiration on his NBC deal made the departure final. His last episode, Goodbye, Michael, included tearful hugs, one final "That's what she said," and a quiet walk through airport security. It drew over 8 million viewers who weren't ready to let go. The Office soldiered on, bringing in names like James Spader and Catherine Tate. But the sparkle of season 2-7 felt a little dimmer. Michael's awkward sincerity had been the show's compass, and suddenly, viewers had to find their way without him. Even today, when you rewatch those early episodes, it's hard not to feel the pang of loss, a lingering sense that something irreplaceable quietly left the building.